How's it going, everyone? Happy hump day. Mike, Brad, how are you doing? What do we got going on here? We got cameras in a weird spot. Cameras in a weird spot. We got to move the camera. It's from where I was doing that video last night. Everything's a little funky. All right. Am I live today? I need to know. Say you are live. B-car suggestions. Yes. If you tell me I'm live, I will give you B-car suggestions. All right. Fantastic. Yesterday I wasn't live for a half hour. There's a crazy person in his garage talking to himself. I am trying to set up the Stream Deck stuff again because my Stream Deck's not working. All right. Let's pull up printables. Let's go down here, profile, collections. I think these collections are public. So if you go to my printables profile, it's got a lot of the stuff that I've used. I would recommend a Scar over the B-car. This is the one I would recommend. It's just printed parts and 10-pound test fishing line. So if you've got fishing line in your house, good chance you're good to go. It's a little bit trickier to assemble, but bearings for a B-car are going to cost you about $10 to $15. And this is adjustable. So the way it works is once you've got it all together, you pull up and click it over, and you can adjust it for how much rifling you want. And more rifling you give it is also going to slow the dart down. So if you need to get a blaster that's hitting at like 160 down under a 150 cap, let's say, because slabs right there on the edge could go either way. If you're in a game that they're like, hey, it's got to be under 150, you can just give that a couple extra turns and slow that dart down some. Hold on one second. Let me find out what's going on here. Be right. Yeah, so there's no screws, there's no nothing. It's just 10-pound test fishing line. Most guys probably have a fishing lure somewhere, fishing pole somewhere in their house that has 10-pound line on it and would be good to go. Chat's working today. So there's that. It's not going to let me do this. Yeah. So it works really well. That's what I've got on my Falcons. It's a little tough. I had a little bit of a difficult time getting it all the way on. You want to make sure you're all the way bottomed out onto, there's a step in the bottom of that scar. You want to make sure you're all the way down on that. Otherwise, it's not going to be lined up and you're going to be like tilted one way or the other. So, yeah. So, working on some new maker chips with this new board with the squish on it. It's kind of washing out some stuff. So, I'm trying some different things on it. I'm gonna take this and go up a bit and see how that does. What's that look like? And then, yeah, I'm just, so some of them look better than others. This one's not too bad. But down here, it's supposed to be a white line, white like necklace kind of line there. And that's not there. It's kind of a fine balance. You want to make sure it's pressing down hard enough into the build plate, but also not too hard. So yeah, we're getting there. We're starting to print some maker chips. The plan is right now to have a table at Murph. I don't think I'm going to have any printers there. Let's be honest. With the exception of like the Doomcube Micron, there's probably going to be 1,000,000,001 of everything there anyway. This one is like one of those effects plates. So it's kind of like it's got a bit of a rainbow kind of effect going on. I don't know if it comes across. That one's not great. Let's try it. Yeah, you can kind of see it flash on there. Yeah, it's in Indiana. So I think I'm going to set up a table as long as I'm allowed with probably mainly the blasters. Don't really have anything else cool to display, honestly. Maybe we can fix that. Maybe we can do some cool, fun projects between now and Murph. Yeah, so I had to cancel the first round because stuff started peeling off. I washed it with Dawn, and I'm using Frank's goo on it. Yeah, it's about 3 hours from me. So that's the plan anyway. So I hadn't had lunch. Sorry, folks. Eating a sandwich. Yeah. I don't know. It's also a function of what I can fit in my tiny little car. It's not like I have a truck or something. All right. I'm back over here. I know you tried so hard to spin that far. All right, so we've got the switch wire. Let's first things first, let's get these wires for the tool head plugged in. So let's go over here to what's the Nighthawk. Mounting guide. Hardware. Which version is this? What you gonna bring, Mike? You gonna get a table? How the hell am I supposed to know which version I have? Because this doesn't say. Oh, this is rather annoying. Yeah, on the back, right where it's convenient. Easy to see when it's mounted. Yeah, there's apparently a 1.4 and a 1.2. I still need to get a cartographer for this thing. Okay. 1.4.2. Dun dun. Put all the screws back in. Yeah, that's where I'm going to have to order it from. It doesn't take long to get here. I just got to come up with 35 bucks to order one. Well, 35 plus shipping. So we got the RGB goes here. All right. So we got a part fan over here. And part fan over here. Yeah, that's the market price. That's the MSRP for the cartographer. And yeah, it's right over in Pennsylvania. So last time he shipped me one, I had it the next day. I'm about to see if the Jabberwocky manual has something. Jabberwocky GitHub. What is this Jabberwocky probe? Interesting. Anyway. Okay, there's a wiki. Sugar assembly, lower toolhead assembly. Electronics. Next. 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 All right. Working our way through. Trying to see if there's the electronics hookup in here. You would think there would be, since it's kind of default for. Okay. That's a no. All right, so we've got what is this? What does this go to? Give me a second. I'm going to get you guys a better view here. I'm just trying to figure something out. Here's our thermistor and hot end. Fan and 2 RGBs. Okay. Let me get this other camera over here. Marin, how's it going? Yeah, I'm back over at the LDO Nighthawk page. Okay, so this is our hot end fan. Hot end fan. Okay. That's going to be right here. And then I don't know. Why? Hold on one second. Illy had to pick up my daughter from school. Let me see what's going on. Oh, let me turn chat on. All right, I'm back. Yeah, there's a squad over at the school, and my daughter had to come home. She wasn't feeling well. Next door neighbor's door's open, and they've moved out, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, eye injection. Youch. I was at the store today, and giant brisket reduced. Price was $40. At 3 something a pound. So probably like a 12-pound brisket. What's wrong? Why are you having to have eye injections every 6 weeks? Hot end thermistor goes here. RGBs. One goes in here. Then this comes up and connects to this. Lovely. All right. Now, filament sensor. And plug one of these in to X end stop. Bottoms in the X. Top one's in there. Love it, love it. This fan wire is really long. And then is there any zip tie points on this thing? One. Zip tie point on that side. No zip tie point on this side. Luke, how's it going? Damn, Brad, I'm sorry to hear that. Yet another reason I should start doing better at watching what I take in. I drink most of my sugars. It's probably the same with most people, actually. But, lay off the sodas and sweet teas. I might do better. My doctor stopped yelling at me about my blood sugar. So what is that? Is that like something's pushing on your nerve or something? Hey Luke, have you built any of these Jabberwocky tool heads? I was just wondering. This seems really weird. The strain relief, it's like the wire's supposed to come down the back here and in the front here. So I don't know if it's like, give yourself like a service loop kind of strain relief thing going on or what the... I guess I could just ask, but... All right. Well, everything's plugged in now. See if we can manage some of these wires a bit. Include some zip ties. Damn, dude. What if I run this? Will it reach? Yeah, it'll reach that way. That's what we're gonna do. Gonna run it all the way around. That sounds exceedingly painful. And I mean, I don't have great eyesight, but I can't imagine it would be in any way beneficial to one's eyesight. There we go. All that here. I don't want you down there. Come out here. Come over here. I want you to come around this way. So I don't want you dragging on the extrusion. Lovely. And just like that, we have a wired Jabberwocky. I would imagine getting a bunch of fluid injected in your eye would definitely seem like something that would cause a headache. All right, these settings are looking better. They are looking better for the maker chip. I'm gonna save these settings so I don't lose them. Apparently I already did. File. Save project. There we go. We're just gonna save it just like that for the moment. Yeah, definitely better than going blind. That's one of the situations in life where, you know, you think you have it bad until you hear about the crap that somebody else has. Somebody once said to me, you know, if you took everybody in a room and you had them all put their problems like in a bowl, and then they had to pick problems back out equal to the number they put in, there's a good chance you'd pick the same problems that you had to begin with and put in there. Like, you wouldn't want to trade places with other people. No matter how bad you think you have it, other people will have it worse, and other people are suffering too, just in different ways. It's a good way to look at it, man. It's a good way to look at it. I try my best to do the same. You know, I got my shit going on, and yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, I'm getting a bunch of time to spend with my family, do some things I really enjoy. Yeah. All right, so I guess let's belt this up so it doesn't flop all over the place, and then we can start wiring some crap. I forgot about having to belt this. I thought it was just right onto electronics. All right, shout out to Fabrico. They supplied the a lot of parts for that. One of those parts is this belt. All right. Let's see. All right. Well, it goes around that way. Get something to push this through. Something is askew. Bearing in the front. is lower. Yep. Because I put these on backwards. We're going to need to rename this stream later. LTX, how's it going? Yeah. My ex-mother-in-law had fibromyalgia. Has it. Rolling this back up. I'm doing okay. Brad's got to go get an injection in his eye, so by comparison, I'm doing fantastic. That would suck. Not laughing at you, Brad. You know what I mean. I don't know how I got that completely backwards. Ouch. I even have a switch wire over here to look at, like as an example. And I still got it wrong. This is what happens when you're building things and not looking at the directions. Did anybody find any good deals for Prime Day? Everybody stock up on filaments. Yeah, I've been avoiding it too, but. Hey, what's up, Aiden? I'm streaming over here, just so you know. You can come over here. I just wanted you to be aware. Yeah, she's inside. Hold on a second. Uno momento, por favor. Like a blower motor for your heater? HVAC blower motor? They always suck when they go out. Mine always go out in the like dead of winter. I feel like this Prime Day is a little bit less advantageous to folks than the one in June. One in June, people are buying stuff, getting ready for summer. This one is more, I don't know. People aren't quite ready to start Christmas shopping yet. It's too late for back to school stuff. Yeah, it's today it's down it's 65 right now. It has been really warm. So like unseasonably warm. It was 80 on Monday or something like that. But it cooled off for a few weeks there, and then got hot again. Like it cooled off the beginning of September and then got really hot for the last few weeks of September. All right. We're attached now. Yeah, where'd you say you were? Texas? Am I right? Am I remembering right? All right. Once more with feeling, I suppose. Trying to fish this freaking thing through this hole. All right. Proud of myself for remembering that. Sometimes it's hard to remember where everybody's at. All right, there's that. All right, now we take the belt out. Top one's 1 tooth longer. Both the same length. Yeah, weather is a little bit weird for this time of year, Luke. It's a little bit warmer than it ought to be. Leaves started to change color on some trees, and then it warmed back up. So now there's just like a few dead leaves hanging on trees that are otherwise green. Mike, you going down to Texas? There's a place I'd like to visit. I'd like to go west, and I'd like to go out. I'd like to go see like parts of Louisiana. I'd like to go see Texas. I really want to go out to Colorado. I'd like to go to the Pacific Northwest. Maybe not Washington, maybe Oregon. What are you going down there to help out with, Mike? Yeah, for a couple weeks in August. I mean, in autumn, not August. This fly. It was bothering me last night too. Got him. LTX, I'm always down for building a printer. If you need something built and Mike can't help you. Did anybody watch my my video that I did yesterday with my daughter? Hey, I'm just saying, if he needs help above and beyond what you can provide for building some printers. All right. Now, put the belt back in the printer again. I don't think LTX wants to pay to ship me a printer and then ship it back to them anyway. That would be pricey and risky. We all know how well the postal services are about taking care of their packages. Oh, come on. All right. Let me get a belt clamp in there. Captain, how's it going? Yeah. They tend to want to make sure that the people they transport survive. We're going to use blue ones just because there's not much blue on the tool head. All right. Awesome. It's awesome. I never did, I don't know if you left or whatnot before, but I was wondering what were you going to do about the gap underneath that door? In your video, it looked like there was a several inch gap. All right. All right, this needs a rather long bolt in the back here. Maybe a 40. Yeah. Hex nut. Okay. I didn't realize there was more than one door. I didn't know if you're gonna like wall that off and like do that, or I wasn't sure what you were gonna do. All right, let's go get the bigger parallel pliers. So turn this around so you can see what I'm trying to do here. So there's a bolt that goes through this part right here to add rigidity to that. But I need to press this hex nut into there. In my humble opinion, switch wire is the biggest pain in the butt to belt. Yes. All right. That'd be interesting. Desktop hydraulic press. I'd just like to get one of those little linear presses from Harbor Freight. I don't think they're too terribly expensive, but I could be wrong. In my head, it seems like they're probably like 30 bucks, but that means that they're probably actually like $100. Hmm. There's that. The heck? belts aren't the same length. I'm trying to figure out why. There we go. Now they're the same length. All right, we got some belt clamps. Now we're all belted up. Fantastic. Let's go put my pliers back. If I open the right drawer. I bet. Probably, definitely not going to help. This is an old power bill. All right. Let's go ahead and flip this. This is a Physitech CMS board. I printed out what I think is all the parts we're going to need for all of this. Let's come over here and get some electronics out. Start off with the power supply. Well, shite. It's like I put heat sets where heat sets weren't needed. I'm gonna have to pull that out. I think I can remove the heat sets and still run it through because I think these are M4 screws. All right. Does this come with screws for that? And 3s. And 5s. And 5s. Self-tapping screws. M4x8s. All right. Take this out. So I take out those heat sets. All right. Let that heat up for a second. Well, at least it's metric. All right, let's see if we can get these out of here without destroying this part. All right, there's one. There's two. I bet. We've been piling everything in there. How's that the Ender 5 you got on Facebook Marketplace? How's that thing coming along? Drop the screw. And it doesn't want to come out. There we go. All right. Something's cracking and breaking down here. Need hot ends. Yeah. Check out the bamboo ones, maybe. Pick those up for a reasonable price. All right. Now, let's see how we want to lay these other bits and bobs out. So, we've got this board. Want to put the power supply back here. All right, now here's the part I'm not so sure about. How on earth am I going to both screw this in from the bottom and then screw down through here? I have to take this out, don't I? At least for this one. All right, so yeah, longer M3. And we gotta take this out again. So this is 8. This is 6. We need like an 8. Going. Yeah, as I understand it, most of them use like the X1 hot end for readily available files anyway. Oh, one more over here. All right, so I guess the way these things work is get a little hex nut and you put in there. Let's get our hex nuts. So hex nut goes in here. Hex nut slides down in there. And then this part slides in. And then this slides up into this hex tray. And then when you run your screw through, it pushes and holds this open so that it grabs on the back side of these. Oh. All right, so I think we got to put this in, tighten this side up. Well, we've got one more of these that's like so. Rotate this around. Put a screw in here. Put a screw in here. Screw this one in. Rotate this. Get this screwed in down here. Rotate it back. Get another M3x6. There's probably a better way to do this that I just don't know about. Tighten that down. Now our power supply's installed. No way of screwing this one in though. Well, there's where it was cracking. All right, so if I feed this in through here, can I get a hex driver underneath of it? Not that one anyway. All right, I think I can manage that. But we need to get some acetone over here and weld this part back together first. Peeled off some of the build plate that came off. All right. Some acetone, hold that together. Well, now that side's back together. Let's do the same thing over here. All right. Excellent. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Tomorrow's stream, we're going to be installing Girari drawers. So we're finally going to get that project knocked out. Last drawers and case is printing right now. So that's our stream tomorrow. All right. I think that's long enough. Slip this M5 in there. Get this installed back up in here. see what I can do about getting this. You know what? It doesn't want to go both sides anyway. So we'll just bias everything this side. Then it won't crack and break itself again because it's getting stretched between two sides. In fairness to Fizzy, this has been on his to-do list to make some modifications to this one, because there is these issues, but he's got a lot on his plate going on right now. And just hasn't gotten to it. They did tell me before all this that it was going to try to get it done, and that there were some issues with this one. So it's not like I came into this blind. Okay. Ugh. Now, which way do I want to go with this? I need power in over here, so we're just gonna go this way, and we'll route the stepper wires in, cross, up, yep. All right, so this one's got to go this way, so we need one in here. You guys are on the wrong screen. There you go. I'm gonna go with one there and one down here. There we go. We've got that all screwed in. Now, grab a couple M3x8s. There we go. What do we got left? Raspberry Pi mount. On the little mount for the orbiter board. All right, there we go. You've returned. Awesome. Oh, my back hurts. Oh. Oh. All right, let's go get a Raspberry Pi. I was going to do the Pi 3, but I kind of just want to leave that in that little case that's in. There's this Pi 4. Now, guess we put it there. So how long do you think you got till you get the shop completed and you're out there streaming out of it? Are you going to do your gaming streams out there too, or are you just going to do your 3D printing streams out there? All right. I know how much my old lady yells at me for spending all my time out in the garage, and it's attached to the house. She'd lose her mind if I was in a separate building out in the yard. All right. Awesome, man. It'll be good to see you streaming again. It'll be good just knowing that you're a little less stressed. You know what I mean? I know this is turned into a pretty stressful. Got him. Pretty stressful endeavor for you. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fly. Don't know where he went. All right. Self-tapping screws it will be. Oh. That's pretty awesome, Captain. All right, there's a pie installed. Okay. One more for the LDO Nighthawk board. I guess I probably should have taken this board out and seen how it needs to be oriented before I just put that in there willy-nilly. All right, get this board out. my goodness, it does not want to come out of here. There we go. All right. So it needs to get rotated like this. All right, let's see if I can get this installed like that, or if I need to move this pie over. Rather not. Definitely not. I don't know where that screw went. Well, I gotta move this pie over one notch, so that sucks. But my back hurts way too bad to mess with this anymore right now. So we're gonna call it here for today. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be back. We're going to install these Ferrari drawers. If you haven't checked it out, check out the video that me and my youngest daughter made yesterday. She shoots me with every single one of the Nerf blasters that I own, and we give them a ranking on how painful they are. So that was a lot of fun. For her, at least. Really painful for me. I've got some bruises and some welts. But she had a good time. So check that video out. Like and subscribe. Most of you guys, I'm sure, are already subscribed, but hit the like button. If you go check that out, hit like on that. Leave a comment. It's good for engagement, good for the algorithm. Get it pushed out there. And it's just, I think it's a fun video. Really lighthearted and just fun. Anyway, guys, have a good one. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Later.